Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be describing my perfect JRPG. Every time I play a JRPG, there's always certain elements that I don't like about it, like with any game where you're not going to love 100% of it. And I was thinking, if I took all the elements of JRPGs and threw them into one game, it would essentially become a perfect JRPG for me. I've sort of come up with a list of different aspects and elements that I think would essentially become my perfect RPG based on the games that I've played. And what I think, essentially, if this existed, it would not have any flaws with me personally. So if my perfect JRPG existed, it would be in one of two settings, either a modern day setting or a whimsical, magical, anime-esque type other world that essentially is not medieval. I don't like medieval settings at all, and I don't like medieval settings when they're mixed with modern day. Basically, if it's like Lord of the Rings, but they have a couple modern things, I don't like it. And if it's straight up like Lord of the Rings, I don't like it. It's just a personal taste. I don't like medieval stuff. So if in my perfect RPG, there would be no elements of anything to do with medieval. Personally, I'd love to see more modern day settings. And when I say modern day, I literally mean modern day. Not future or kind of modern day, but with, swords and dragons. Like actually modern day. Like, why can we not have a group of people and have a cliche RPG party, but wandering around New York doing things? I know these things exist and there's very few, but I really would like to see more modern day JRPGs, similar to Earthbound in the sense where you're not in a magical world, you're not in the past, it's not a made up Game of Thrones type setting. It's straight up, you're just walking around modern day United States. I'd really like to see that. That's what I really like, and that's why I fell in love with Earthbound, because it was so relatable in that sense, the fact that it was modern day. On the other hand, if we didn't have a modern day setting, I would be really fine with the whimsical, magical, anime other world. And I don't really know how to describe that. The best way would be Ni no Kuni kind of grabs that a bit. There's aspects of Ni no Kuni that I don't love, but I really, really like sort of this fun, crazy other world with crazy characters and, people that are groups of people that are different species and different races. I think that would be really, really fun to see more games like that as opposed to the cliche Dungeons and Dragons setting. In terms of music, music plays a huge role. I generally like a lot of the music I play in JRPGs, but if I had my way, then the score would be a combination of three composers: John Williams, Alexander Desplat, and Danny Elfman. If we kind of threw a bit of those guys together, I feel like we'd get this this creepy yet eerie, whimsical charm mixed with a very movie-esque score type score. I would really, really like to see that. Now, generally, I do like what I hear in video games for JRPGs. I mean, we've got Nobuo Uematsu is amazing. There's lots of great composers out there. But that would sort of be the way I would go. Lots of creepy elements. I want to see more creepy, but with hints of sort of enchantment. What would my JRPG look like? It would look 16-bit. I love 16-bit. I just think it is incredibly, incredibly charming. I just love it. It's so, I think it's cute, but I don't know. I feel like it does JRPGs justice. Now, you can have a JRPG that looks like Final Fantasy 15, or you can have a JRPG that is 8-bit on the Nintendo. So you can have anything you want with this genre. It's perfect, but I like really sprite-heavy, cartoony graphics from the 16-bit era. I feel like the way you can make towns look and world maps, just the overall setting, I know 16-bit is the best. A perfect story for me in a JRPG, I have a few ideas, but for me, it would be a group of kids or a group of young adults, but not teenagers. I'm getting really sick of teenagers in games. Like the school setting thing, I don't know, I'm getting really sick of it. Not that Persona and stuff, that they're great, but I just feel like anything to do with kids going to school, I'm like actually getting really over it. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I don't want to see anything to do with the school. So if it's a group of like 10-year-olds going on an adventure, that's fine. And if it's a group of 20-somethings, 30-somethings, or a bunch of people that are different ages, so you've got like, you know, the one kid in there and you've got the person who's 70, that's okay. But I just don't want a group of teens. I don't know, I'm getting really irritated with that. I think a really fun JRPG would involve someone who finds out that they're secretly from some magic society or something, and then the game takes place in that setting. So somebody finds out they're from some like spirit world or ghost world or something like that, and the whole JRPG would take place in that world, and they'd find out, and so they'd have to go there, and then they'd have to save the day or something. I'm fine with cliche saving the world stories. I'm totally okay with that, but it has to have some kind of intrigue with a unique character or a unique party of characters, something. People being transported to other worlds from the modern day settings. You get both of it, kind of like Ni no Kuni. I love that. It's very anime-esque to me. It's very much like an anime where, you know, a group of, again, I guess this is teenagers, so no teenagers, but a group of people find out, you know, they've been chosen or something, and so they find out they're secretly part of this other world or something. There could be a mirrored world they have to go to. The whole plot from Final Fantasy VI with Terra being an Esper, that's interesting to me because she finds out why is she so different. Oh, turns out that she's like an Esper. That's really cool. I like plots like that. People with magical powers, I'm all for that. Or if somebody finds out, we could have like an X-Men plot in there. Somebody finds out, you know, like kind of like the mutant plot, but then the villain could be somebody like Magneto who thinks that the normal people, you know, need to go. And so he's the bad guy. And so you have to defeat him or something. I like magic stuff, but not in a wizard mage kind of way. I would love to see an RPG that takes the magic and all that charm, or going to another world that's really different and obscure and, you know, it's very alien-like. That would be fun. I'm really sick of playing games that involve very cliche characters where there will be one person who's magical, one person who has a giant sword, and someone who can heal everybody. I just feel like, not that you can't have that in the game, but I just don't want it to be a main focus. Why can't everyone have healing abilities? Why does there have to be a designated, like, you know, badass guy who has the sword who's kind of angsty? Like, I don't know. That needs to go. In terms of gameplay, I love turn-based, so my perfect RPG would be turn-based. Simple turn-based combat. No complicated battle system where it's, you know, some kind of grid and you have to put all things. I hate that. And some people, I'm sure, think, oh my god, how can you not like it? It's so great. You customize everything. I just hate it. I like the 16-bit era and Super Nintendo games because I don't think they had the capability of doing stuff like that, but they didn't have that. You know, you can upgrade your weapon. You can buy different items. All of that is great. You can have, you know, different items to be wearing to get more defense, but I like a shield or something. But I hate battle systems that are like overly complex. It just drives me nuts because it's like it's like a whole other aspect of the game that I just don't want anything to do with. It's just boring to me. I would also want it to have the look of sort of Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger 16-bit style, not the first person view of Earthbound or Dragon Quest. As much as I love Earthbound, if I were to have my own game and make it the way I wanted it to look, it wouldn't look like that, because I do like it when you can see your own characters on the screen, unlike Earthbound where it was kind of a weird psychedelic thing where you could just see the enemy. That's great, and I really enjoyed the game, obviously, but I would personally rather you see both sides and then you can actually see the combat. That would be really cool. So those aspects would make up my perfect JRPG. I've been thinking about, you know, if you took all the things from all the games you like, all the best things, what would they be? Because I know I've played a game where, you know, the story is kind of just average, but the graphics are amazing. So if you took the great graphics from one game and the great story from another game and, you know, the great battle system from another game or the music from another game and you put them all together, what would you get? So for me, those are the qualities that would make like the ultimate perfect JRPG. Curious what you guys think in terms of what your perfect JRPG would be or perfect RPG. I'd be really curious if you guys comment on that. I'd be interested to know, just because I love the genre so much, but obviously you're never happy with everything. So that's why I decided to make this video, to just share all the elements that I would love to see come together to make the perfect RPG for me. So that's everything for this video, and I'll see you guys later. And please make sure to subscribe and like. See you guys later.